Well, hello crafters. Thank you for joining me today at Juanette's Crafting Corner. Before we get started on this journal, I would like to give a shout out and a thank you to several people who have commented on my videos. They've left lovely, lovely comments. The first person is Mags, then Beverly, April, Ivy, Carolyn, and lastly, Sherry. Thank you so much for your comments. I really do appreciate it. In today's tutorial, we are going to be making the outside of this journal. Now, I just want to note real quick that a lot of these pictures were from the Graphics Fairy, with the exception of this picture right here, which is actually a picture of my grandmother and her sister in the 1920s as flappers. Then this picture here, I added some embellishments where I just took some beads and strung them to simulate a necklace here, added a little flower here, sewed some layers of lace and material to make it look like her dress. The closure is just glued sari silk, and you wrap it around a couple of times, and that's your closure. On this front page here, there's a journaling card, and I left the thread on it, and it's this beautiful French woman with this kind of pinkish veil around her head. Then this lace is pink and green tones, and that lace came from India. Some journaling cards, and I've already started journaling in it. This is my personal journal that I wanted to make for myself. A journaling card here, a little flip out here. Then there is a coffee stained bag with a journaling card. Then a tag here to journal on, with a vellum side pocket. Another page here to journal on, and this is one of our new stamps from StampinUp. If you are interested in buying any StampinUp supplies, I do sell it, and my 24/7 online store is called JuanetteHewitt.stampinup.net. Then there's a journaling card here, and it is a hinged journaling card, and I put some lace down here, and then it just slides into a little vellum pocket. Paper here, music paper here, a doily that I stamped. Again, a lot of journaling spaces here. A little postcard tag here, just adhered with a paper clip, coffee dyed ledger paper. The other side of the doily, it is a one signature journal. There's a little envelope here that has a journaling card in it, and I hinged it on the side of this music paper here, using washi tape. This is a paper clip, and on the other side there is a journaling card that slides in. This I love, this right here. I believe I bought this at Hobby Lobby. For those of you that may not know, I live in the United States, and that's one of our craft stores. This is just a little journaling card here. This was Mente paper. Another one of those hinged journaling cards. Be still and know. And then this is just a little postcard here with a wax seal. That's my initial, Juanette. Even though it's a J, the Spanish or Hispanic pronunciation is Juanette. There is some real pressed flowers in this little acetate window. This is a little flip out card here with a journaling card. And then the journal, so that's the one signature right here. And then on the middle is just a big pocket with a journaling page. I made the pocket out of just some book pages, added this lace here, a little bulb clip, and some beads here, a couple of little tags. And then this flips out. See if I can make sure it's all in camera. It flips out all the way here. There's a couple of journaling cards here. I believe there are 3 of them. Just tiny little bitty cards. All of these images, now I used very vanilla cardstock here. This is Stampin' Up. And then all of these images that I stamped here with soft suede are Stampin' Up. And then this is a little bit of a baby's dress that I bought at our local Deseret Industries. Another term for it is Goodwill, or I believe in Europe they call it charity shops. I think it was just a couple of dollars, and I cut that out. Then I added this little butterfly here. There are 2 journaling cards here that just slide into this little pocket that has a little bit of a doily here. Then it can just fold in. Then there's this pretty woman here. Now this I bought from Steph Francis. It is a store, I think a thread shop or embroidery shop in the UK. And this is called mulberry bark. It almost looks like cheesecloth, but it actually is like, I think, bark from a tree that they have dyed. Then it is hinged to the, let me see if I can show you here. Because it's hinged over here with the material. I thought, there's material here, but it's just a little ruffle here. So there's a ruffle here, a little tab here. This is some piece of I think it's of a dress, and some music paper here. And then this folds over so that you see the back. And then this is the other side. So it's hinged to this side of the journal with material. Then there's a little tuck spot here with a card. Several cards here. A tiny little one here, medium size, and Papa Bear there. And this is the negative space to that butterfly that I stamped. And those just slide in there. Then I put on these words, be humble. And then this is one of the Stampin' Up stamps and dies right now. It looks like newspaper. That's the stamp. And then the die cuts it out to look like, you know, what you would put around flowers. And this is some retired Stampin' Up paper there. So it just folds back in on itself like that, and then into the center of the journal. and then closes like that. So what I thought we would do is work on making the cover today. And what I want to do is use blue tones instead of pink tones. And the picture I want to use is this picture right here. Now this beautiful woman here happens to be my grandmother. And I feel I was always very special to her. She always made me foods that I loved. And I'll tell you a little story. One of the foods she always made for me when I came to visit was white beans and fried potatoes and biscuits. She grew up in the Depression era. She was born in 1904. So this would have had to have been about in the 1920s. You can see she looks like she has the flapper hairdo. But I thought I would, like I said, use blue tones and only use the one picture and have that center of my journal. And so let's get started and I'll show you how we did the cover. So I have 3 different books here, and they are just simple books that are not my vintage books, and we're going to start out with them. And I think I'm going to start out with just 4 pages of each of them. I believe this one, I can't remember if I took the price off, but this is a good hardcover book for making into a journal. So I'm going to take 4 sheets of each of these. And that's going to be our base. And then what we'll do is, and I say we like as if you guys are here with me. Well, you are here with me. We'll put some of my vintage books on top, because that is what you're going to see. So we're going to start out with 12 pages. And we need our journal to be about 9 inches in height and about 19 inches in width. And it's real simple. So you just start with a page. And you can take a glue stick and you just start gluing them down to start getting your base going. And you're going to change the direction of the pages here and there. And I'm going to have to see what the tallest page is. So let me just lay this down. And grab my ruler. And the height of this is just about 9 inches, so that's going to be perfect. We just need to make it long enough. So I just keep adding more and more pages on top of each other, and that's going to be our base. What we will do is Mod Podge them together so that they have a little bit more strength. And it will seal them. Okay, we're just going to pull this one down here. it's good to have different fonts. Ooh, that was a goop. Hope you guys can still see. That was goopy. So how's everybody doing? I'm doing fantastic. Anytime I'm in my craft room crafting, I'm a happy woman. I have no complaints whatsoever. It kind of cooled down here. I remember I was telling you the last time we were crafting together that I thought our heat was setting in. Well, it cooled down. We're hitting only about 75, so it's pretty fantastic right now here in Arizona. Just going to keep laying these down. I put the glue on the other side instead of the the bottom side, but that's okay. We need this up here. And then let's do that like that. And let me see where we're at in length here. So that's 12. Oh, that's more than enough, I know. But that's okay. If need be, we can just cut some of it off. Now, as I'm pulling pages out, I want to show you something. Older books are bound with string. And so what you're going to do is find the middle of whatever signature is the string, and you just clip it, and then all you have to do is pull up that page, and it's one solid page. This is that book about Christ, and I want to find the center. Oh, it looks like it's already falling out. Oh, that's good. Okay, that'll make it easy. So yeah, there's a page of that. This is the page. Oh, I love this German book. Oh, this is so fantastic. Love this book. Just pull out a page of that. This is the New Testament in Greek. Oh, somebody's highlighted it. Huh. Oh, a couple of highlighted areas. I think I'm just going to pull this page out here. Put that off to the side. And then I'm going to pull out some of the book pages that was sent to me by Rachel at Roxy Creations. Excuse me. Oh. Feels like a spider went down my throat. No, it didn't. Let's see, which one do I... Oh, ooh. This is cool. Let's just use that. Let's use that one. Okay. So I have almost every language here. So those are my book pages I'm going to use, with the exception of music. Have to pull out a piece of my music paper. And this is my favorite here. I think this, where did my page go that's from? See, I love that because, look at that. Oh, fantastic. This is 1916, and we'll just use that page. I don't want to leave anything out. And of course, this is much more than what I will need. Okay, so now I have my book pages, and now I want to pull my colored paper. So I'm going to put it on high speed while I do that. What I'm doing is separating out pages that will go in the center and some that I'm going to have on the outside. And then like this is ephemera, so that's going to go off to the side. This is a good one to decoupage on the front. That's a good one for decoupaging. This one's ephemera. That's good for decoupaging. And then these bigger ones, I'm going to put off to the side because they will be good for journaling cards, because I've got more than enough of these smaller pieces here. So what I have done is I have taken the papers that I'm going to use to collage over my book page, and I've kind of separated them out, and I've cut them using my tear ruler into more manageable size pieces. So these are my darks, these are all my mid-tones, my lighter tones, all of my book pages in my different languages, my music paper, and then just some strips. So again, like I said, this is about 19 inches long and it's 9 inches high. And so when we go to fold it, it's going to fold like this. So I want this to be the front of the cover, and this is going to be the inside of the cover. So I need to make sure when I glue things down that they are right side up. So this is going to fold like this and then like that. So I need to make sure that this is, everything is right side up. So let's start with just laying out some of the darker colors and just kind of seeing where we might want to put them. This is Stampin' Up paper here that I took and distressed with coffee stain. This is some Tim Holtz wallpaper, and I'm just setting it over here in the corner, just laying them out just to see about where I want darks, where I want lights. Let's put in a couple of the mid-tones. I'm not going to glue them down yet. I just want to see where I'm at. Now again, this is the front. And so I want this at about there. This can go up here. Let's put in this is our Greek New Testament. There's some music page. This is pretty. This is from that French book. I'm going to put that at about there. And in a moment is when I'm going to glue everything down. This is from that Hungarian book. Bring it down there. Let's bring in some of our floral. And this is the lighter floral. So let's go about there. There. Let's see. One over here. And I'm just going to first kind of look to see where I want things and see if they look pleasing to my eye before I glue them down. This was that really, really old book. And I'm just going to tear some of this white, well, it's aged, it's very aged, the border off. Most of the pages I have inked around. Okay, that like that. Okay, we'll do this and then that. We have space there. Bring that up like that so it's all covered. Got a big space there, but I think that's about where my picture is going to go. We've got that. We'll put this big blue piece across there. We'll bring in another piece of music page here. Let's see. I don't think I have any of these yet. Oh, and I don't have this lighter color of the floral. I've got the darker one way down here on the right. Let's put that at about there. Oh, there's too much writing in there. Let's see here. Oh, that can go about there. And I don't have this smaller piece yet. Let's see. I love the music page. I really do like that. So let's put that at about there. I don't have any of this poem in here yet. We're going to pull that in there. At about that. And I'm going to be sewing all around this. So to begin with, I don't have to glue it real well. I'm going to bring this darker blue in over here. It's looking pretty good here. I've got a little empty space right here. I don't think I have this book in yet. Do I have this? Yeah, I do. Okay, that's the Hungarian book. And that's the French book. I've got this one in. Oh, I love this that says about France. I love that. Actually, let me kind of tear that off. Darken up those edges. Okay, there's that. I have the paper from Roxy's Creations. Let's see, do I have that in there yet? No, I don't. Ah, we need something way over here. I apologize if you guys can't see everything, but I'm just kind of trying to put papers down first, just to kind of see where I want them. And then I'll start at one side and go to the other side. Yeah, that looks good. There. I've just got one little empty spot here. Okay, I've put some of this in there. We could put another little dark piece in. Oh, I've got it right there. Duh. Okay, let's see. Oh, one of these strips. Oh, I like that. It's got some postmarks on it. Well, let's start gluing down. And like I said, I'm going to stitch on this. So I'm just going to first start laying a few things down. So we're going to start up here in this corner, pull this out. And I probably have a little bit more than what I need of this, but it will just strengthen up the journal. And if need be, I can trim stuff off. So what I'll do is put this on high speed and glue all this down, and then I'll show you guys. So what I thought I would do was tell you a little story about that key ring there. Now, many of you know that I am a labor and delivery nurse in Central California, and that little angel key ring is my all-time favorite gift that I've ever received from a patient in my 46 years as a registered nurse. And I'll tell you why that is my favorite. Now, my hospital is in a big agricultural area of the United States. It's called the Salad Bowl of the U.S. That's because lettuces, artichokes, all kinds of fruits, just almost anything that can grow is grown there. And so there are just tons of farms all through that area. Salinas, Watsonville, Hollister, Gilroy, Castroville. Those are the names of the towns in that area where there's a lot of farming. So we get a lot of people that come up from Mexico to help with picking the produce. Now, this little patient that came in, her and her husband, it was not their first baby, as I recall, and she did not speak any English. He spoke very little English, but he did a little bit, and with my Spanglish, we kind of got by. But she came in labor, And while she was laboring and, I was with them and we're, visiting here and there, he showed me the clothes that they bought for their new baby. Now, these clothes were brought to the hospital in a a plastic grocery bag. And he was so proud of these clothes. And I noticed the tags were from Goodwill or a charity shop. That's where they had bought these little outfits for their baby. So, they did not have much money. And you could tell by, other things that they had, that they just did not have a lot of money. But she was absolutely a delightful patient. He was absolutely delightful. And she delivered her baby while on my shift. And so the next day when I came into work, I again had her as a postpartum patient, and he gave me that key ring. And, muchas gracias, enfermera, just thanking me so much for the care that I gave to him and his wife and their new little baby. And again, because I know that they did not have much money, for him to take the time and the effort to buy me that little key ring with that angel on it means more to me than almost anything that it does. It means more than anything I have ever received as a gift from a patient. So that's my little story on that little key ring and why I appreciate it so much. And let's get back to finishing this collage, and we'll go from there. Okay, so I think I'm quite happy with that. I think everything is glued down. Yeah, I like that. So before I sew this side, I did want to cover this side, but I want to put some tie-vac down to protect the spine as I sew it in. So what I want to do is just kind of mark my 6-inch area here. And I'm just scoring it ever so slightly to find out where the middle is. And that is where I'm going to sew my spine. So I have a piece of Tyvek, or from what you get from when you mail a package at the post office. It's very, very strong. It is 9 inches in length and 2.5 inches in width. And I'm going to glue that right down the center here where that score line is, just to make this very strong so that when I sew in my signature, it won't tear it. Okay, so I'm going to take that Tyvek and glue that down the center. And again, because I'm going to sew this, I don't have to put a ton of glue on it. The other thing is I will probably put some lace or something else to decorate it. That will just give that some strength there. And then the other thing I did is I went ahead and picked out, and I'm just going to move the camera up a little bit so you can see my papers that I'm going to put on the inside of the cover. So I'm going to glue those down real quick and then I'll show it to you. And like I said, I have not sewn the front because I realized that I needed to put the Tyvek in and cover this part. Okay, so I have finished the front and the inside of the journal. And what I did is I went around with my sewing machine and did just a little bit of a zigzag and then some straight stitching all around the edges of the journal. And then in certain places where maybe the paper was lifted up, just like that one little spot right there, I just go in and take some glue and glue it down. So I may have said earlier in the video that I was going to Mod Podge it, but sometimes I don't like the way that makes the outside of the journal feel. So just as I work on this, I will glue it down. And then, like I said, this was where the Tyvek was put. Then I decoupaged over it. I had shown you where I scored at about 6 inches on this side and 6 inches on this side. Then I folded it over, and that is the outside of our journal. And we will be, like I said, sewing our signature here, adding a pocket here with some stuff, and then adding stuff here. So that's what we will do next week, is we will decorate the front. I believe I had already shown you, this is the picture that's going to go on the front. It's a picture of my grandmother. Then I also pulled out what I'm going to use to tie the journal. I think I'm going to use this darker blue. This is sari silk. So anyway, that's what we're going to do next week. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it, and I hope you try this step-by-step journal cover using book page from old books. And we'll see you again next week. Bye, guys. Have a great week.